Gunfire at a party in Fresno leaves 4 dead. A Walmart in Oklahoma is the scene of a deadly shooting. And the local woman who accused Bakersfield police of brutality is arrested for allegedly spitting on an officer's food. This is 17 News at noon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. We begin with the manhunt for whoever pulled the trigger in a mass shooting in Fresno that left 4 people dead. Fresno police say this was a targeted shooting and that some people at the party where the shooting happened may have been involved in a, quote, disturbance earlier this week. Police are now looking into the possibility that the shooting was gang-related. NBC's Sam Brock has more on this horrifying story.
A manhunt is underway in California. Police searching for whoever opened fire Sunday night at a family gathering in Fresno, killing 4 people and wounding 6 others. Authorities say the gunman, or possibly multiple shooters, burst into the backyard party where dozens of friends and family members were watching the Sunday night football game and began shooting.
They fired into the backyard where most of the people were in this party, striking 10 people.
Police now trying to figure out what led to this most recent violence last night that has this community on edge.
This is senseless violence. We're going to do everything we can to find out who the perpetrators are and bring them to justice.
Sam Brock reporting. Police are canvassing the neighborhood now, looking for surveillance video and witnesses. All 4 who died were described by police as Asian men ages 23 to 40. Police announced this morning it would open a new Asian gang task force. Police say this was a family event and it could have been much worse, with dozens of others inside the house, including children. Another mass shooting, this one in Oklahoma. 3 people are dead after the shooting in the Walmart parking lot there in Duncan, Oklahoma. According to a statement from Walmart, this was an isolated incident in the parking lot, and it was not an active shooter situation. Authorities confirm 3 people are dead, including the shooter. And last night in Santa Clarita, thousands gathered to remember and reflect on last week's shooting at Saugus High School. Students and family members spoke about the 2 students who were killed, 15-year-old Gracie Ann Muehlberger and 14-year-old Dominic Blackwell. Saugus High School will remain closed until December 2nd, but counselors will be available to help students cope with their grief. Police still don't know a motive. The shooter died on Friday. A local law enforcement community is mourning the loss of one of their own. KCSO Commander Ian Chandler passed away last night. According to KCSO's Instagram post, it was a sudden and unexpected death. That was video of Chandler back in September talking to 17 News about fair security. Officials say Commander Chandler started his career with the sheriff's office in 1997. He was promoted to commander this past summer. More fireworks expected this week during the second week of public impeachment hearings before 3 House committees, and we're learning more of what House members have heard in private in closed-door testimony about whether the White House's holding up of military aid to Ukraine over the summer was improper. NBC's Hallie Jackson has the latest.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi this morning making it clear where she stands on the president and impeachment, implying President Trump should resign.
What the president did was so much worse than even what Richard Nixon did. But at some point, Richard Nixon cared about the country enough to recognize that this could not continue.
Pelosi defending the whistleblower whose initial complaint about the call sparked the impeachment proceedings and who has come under attack from the president and his allies.
I will make sure he does not intimidate the whistleblower.
And she's going after the president for attacking Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch on Twitter during her testimony.
I think part of it is his own insecurity as an imposter. I think he knows full well that he's in that office way over his head, and so he has to diminish everyone else.
It comes as the president is now suggesting, without evidence, that Jennifer Williams, a State Department employee detailed to the vice president's staff, is a never-Trumper. Williams, set to testify publicly tomorrow, told investigators privately she thought that controversial July call between President Trump and the Ukrainian leader was unusual and inappropriate. Former top National Security Council staffer Tim Morrison, also set to speak publicly tomorrow, tells investigators he was not concerned that anything illegal was discussed in that call when the president asked for personal political help after freezing military aid to Ukraine. But Morrison still asked lawyers to review it for placement in a more secure server because he felt it would be damaging if it leaked.
You had Tim Morrison, who was on the NSC staff, who said that alarm bells immediately went off for him.
There are a lot of people who worked in the Trump administration who have very countering views to that, and they've not been allowed to come forward.
And in that interview on Face the Nation yesterday, Speaker Pelosi said the president should testify himself in the inquiry, and the president's indicating he may do so. On Twitter this morning, he said Speaker of the House, nervous Nancy Pelosi, suggested on Sunday's Deface the Nation that I testify about the phony impeachment witch hunt. She also said I could do it in writing. Even though I did nothing wrong and don't like giving credibility to this no due process hoax, I like the idea and will, in order to get Congress focused again, strongly consider it. The next Democratic debate is set to take place on Wednesday. The stage is set, and Joe Biden is the center. Right up there with him, Elizabeth Warren. Biden and Warren have been known to go after each other in previous debates. In recent weeks, their feud has deepened, with Warren criticizing Biden's decision to accept super PAC support. 10 candidates will face off in Atlanta. The debate is co-hosted by MSNBC and The Washington Post. PG&E's CEO is in the state capitol today for an investigative hearing. This is Bill Johnson's second appearance at the state capitol this month. It's part of a Senate committee investigation into the utilities' recent power shutoffs. The committee will dig into the impact the blackouts had on the economy, schools, emergency management, and businesses across the state. Johnson's set to testify in front of the Senate Energy, Utilities, and Communication Committees. He'll testify along with the CEOs of 2 other investor-owned utility companies in the state. More power shutoffs might be on the way for California this week. PG&E's warning customers in 19 counties that they may have their power shut off. This comes as strong offshore winds are expected. So far, Kern County is not on that list. PG&E says it will continue to monitor forecasts and update customers as necessary. Meantime, homeowners up north are taking that warning seriously. Volunteers from a local church turned out yesterday to reduce the fire risk in Oakland, the site of a devastating firestorm in 1991. All right, so now for a quick look at those predicted winds and what weather's looking like for us here locally, here's Alyssa.
Enjoy today because we have a big time change on the way by Wednesday, looking at a drop in temperatures by at least 15 degrees and a winter storm watch over the Kern Mountains. That goes into effect tomorrow night and runs through Thursday afternoon. And not only for here, but as we head into the Central Sierra, watching out for snow, and snow levels will be down to 6,000 feet. Possibly 5,000 feet near Tehachapi. There's the front. Ahead of it, winds out of the south today warming us up. So we are awaiting our first rain snow of the water year. Also looking then at snow possibly down to 5,000 feet. Localized flooding and ponding is expected as we then head into this midweek. As we take a look at temperatures this afternoon, we'll be into the lower 80s in the valley today and in the mountains topping out in the mid 70s. Much more in your complete pinpoint forecast.
Court watch now. A Kern County Sheriff's deputy accused of sexually assaulting a woman pleaded not guilty this morning. 31-year-old Deputy Michael Clark stood next to his attorney Kyle Humphrey in court this morning. A 21-year-old woman accused Clark of forcing himself on her when he offered to give her a ride home. She also said he exposed himself. Prosecutors say investigators found evidence, including inappropriate texts sent by Clark. The alleged assault happened October 17th. She also says Clark has also started messaging her on social media asking if they could meet. He faces 3 felony charges. Deputy Clark has been with KCSO for about 2 years. He was been on administrative leave since his arrest October 18th. His next court date is set for January 15th. A Bakersfield man arrested in 2 cold cases is due in court today. The Burbank Police Department arrested 64-year-old Horace Valtz Jr. Thursday. Police say Valtz is allegedly responsible for the deaths of Selena Keogh and Mary Susan Dugan. Keogh was killed in the city of Montclair in 1981. Dugan was only 22 years old when she was found killed in Burbank. Burbank PD says forensic technology linked Valtz to both murder cases. Valtz is set to be arraigned in Los Angeles County Court. Tatiana Hargrove, the woman who once accused Bakersfield police of brutality, is now accused of spitting in an officer's food. The owner for the McDonald's location where Hargrove worked has stepped in and said they do not agree with her behavior. Jim Abati, owner for the McDonald's in West Bakersfield, released a statement regarding the incident over the weekend, saying, quote, "I want to ensure our customers and law enforcement that the behavior exhibited by the individual involved in this incident does not represent my values nor those of the McDonald's business. When we found out about this disturbing incident, we quickly notified police. We are cooperating with their investigation and want law enforcement to know they are always welcome to McDonald's. Hargrove was arrested Friday night for allegedly spitting on food being served to an officer at a local McDonald's restaurant where she worked. Reports say Hargrove was seen rubbing a hamburger bun on the floor and spitting on it before serving it to the officer at the restaurant located in West Bakersfield. Her bail was set at $10,000. Bakersfield police say a missing man has been found. BPD says 57-year-old Manuel Gardia has a medical condition and had not been seen since Friday night. It may seem early, but if you're shipping gifts, you know time is of the essence. We'll have your holiday shipping deadlines coming up. And when are lifestyle changes a better prescription than surgery? Experts weigh in on the fight against heart disease. Your 17 Health Watch is after the break. Welcome back in your 17 Health Watch. Some heart disease patients may not need invasive surgery, but rather a lifestyle change and medication. A new study looked at more than 5,000 patients with ischemic heart disease from 37 countries. They either underwent routine invasive procedures like stents, implants, or had just made lifestyle changes while taking statins and aspirin. The researchers found surgery was only marginally more effective than medications at reducing chest pain during exercise, and there was little difference between the groups when it came to major heart disease outcomes such as heart attacks. However, patients who had the surgical intervention reported more chest pain relief than those who took just medication. Many parents say it can be hard to know if their child's depressed. That's according to a new study conducted by the University of Michigan. Although the majority of parents said they felt confident they would recognize depression in their adolescent, 2/3 admit it's not so easy. Some parents say their child is good at hiding their feelings, and others struggle to know the difference between typical mood swings and something more serious. 1 in 4 parents say their child knows a peer or classmate with depression. A new government study confirms the HPV vaccine is safe. Researchers reviewed 3 years of data and found no new or unexpected problems linked to the vaccine. 97% of reported side effects were minor, including headache, dizziness, fainting, and pain at the injection site. About 34,000 HPV-related cancers are diagnosed each year in the U.S. That's why pediatricians recommend all young people get the vaccine. All right, let's check out your forecast now with that rain and even some snow in our mountains on the way.
The winter storm watch is up. We have a big time change on the way as we head into Wednesday primarily. So rain will arrive as well as that chance of higher elevation mountain snow. And we'll also be watching then for that potential of snow down to 5,000 feet over near Tehachapi. So this will continue through 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon. Things will get underway as we head into tomorrow night. Today's record high 83 in the meantime back in 1926. And we will challenge that this afternoon as highs are expected to be around 81 degrees. Winds coming up here out of the south ahead of that system. And here is the cold front working now toward the Pacific Northwest. So it still has a ways to go. And in fact, it looks like it's going to be a fairly quick mover as it does make its way through the state from north to south. This is Wednesday, 9 a.m. Still watching for that chance of snow into the central Sierra, rain as we head into southern Kern County and eastern Kern County. And then as we head into our Thursday morning, looking for the rain to be down to the south, drying on out after that. So we'll see some changes by that point. Here's your forecast as we take a look at how much rain. Upwards then just 0.05 of an inch. It's not a lot, but we'll take what we can get. 0.2 of an inch down into the LA area. A little bit more down there. They're worried about a little bit of runoff too. As we head into the forecast today, we'll be into the lower 80s around the valley. And then tonight, 44 in McFarland, 44 in Delano, 51 in Bakersfield. 46 in Arvin. We'll be back into the mid-50s from Taft, Buttonwillow at 45. Into the mountains, sunny skies, 71 in Pine Mountain Club, 73 in Fraser Park, 73 in Wofford Heights, 78 in Weldon, 74 in Tehachapi. In the desert, after lows in the 40s, well, actually, that'll be for tonight. Daytime highs today will be at 79. 80 in Ridgecrest in the desert. Here's your 17-day forecast. Thanksgiving, 62 degrees and cloudy. And then for the Bakersfield Christmas parade, at this point, we're looking at 59 degrees. Air quality moderate at 97. No wood burning unless you are registered. And get ready. We have a big time cool down with rain on the way by midweek. So enjoy this 81 today, 75 tomorrow. And then here comes the rain, possible fog for the weekend too. Lows in the 40s. Mountains, you'll be at 74 and then cooling down to 49 degrees Wednesday and Thursday with lows in the 30s. And in the Kern River Valley, 82 on Monday, 76 on Tuesday, back into the 50s for Wednesday and Thursday with lows in the 40s. So it's going to be a great day, and get out there and enjoy it, everyone.
Times are changing, and chances are so's your annual holiday feast. But don't toss the turkey out with the proverbial bathwater just yet. The latest on Thanksgiving traditions next.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
We're back in your 17 Business Watch and checking stocks on this Monday. After the Dow set a record on Friday, we're now looking at the Dow up 16 points so far in trading, the NASDAQ up 8, and the S&P 500 up a fraction. Checking out oil prices while we're at it. These are dropping today. West Texas Intermediate selling for $56.83 a barrel, and Midway Sunset started the day at $61.47. If you're planning to ship your Christmas gifts, the U.S. Postal Service wants you to know the deadlines. If you're mailing gifts to an Air or Army post office, a fleet post office, or a diplomatic post office, it needs to go out by December 9th. December 14th for retail ground. For greeting cards and packages under 16 ounces, December 20th. December 21st for priority mail, and December 23rd for priority mail express. If you need help to avert a Turkey Day disaster, now you can text if you don't want to call. The duo behind Coterie is ready to come to the rescue. Just text 1239-CELEBRATE. That's 1239 CELEBRAT and then the number 8. The text hotline is active through November 28th from 1 to 3 p.m. Coterie's entertaining experts will answer Thanksgiving questions like how many cocktail napkins do I need for Friendsgiving for 10? I'm tight on space, we'll be sitting on the floor. What's the cheapest way to keep it cute? And my Friendsgiving of 10 has suddenly turned into 14. How can I stretch my food? Of all the things to be thankful for this year, maybe keeping time-honored Thanksgiving traditions aren't at the top of your list. And that may be a good thing because those traditions are changing. Details now from NBC's Chris Clackham.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
No one's suggesting you abandon traditions of Thanksgiving.
See ya.
Where are you going?
Like that episode of Friends, when Joey and Ross had other ideas for the day involving other women. But fear not, traditionalists, turkey's still the protein of choice on Turkey Day.
Turkey's been part of harvest celebrations and Thanksgiving celebrations for hundreds of years.
And this year, 40 million turkeys will grace tables all across the country. But we are seeing a trend away from that traditional meal.
So if that for you is ordering barbecue, having a taco bar, whatever you enjoy.
Jill Aker-Ray's a personal chef and is all for mixing up the meal on Thanksgiving.
I love Thanksgiving because it's about the food, family, football to me. And really, it doesn't matter what that food is. It's about being together.
However, if you plan to keep with tradition, keep it clean.
You should absolutely never wash your turkey. When you wash your turkey, you're essentially spreading bacteria around your kitchen.
And instead, spread good cheer. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Over 40 million turkeys will be consumed across Thanksgiving celebrations this year. Well, still ahead, local Congressman Kevin McCarthy sends a fiery letter to ABC News, what he's accusing the network of in relation to a recent leaked clip of anchor Amy Robach. Back now, making news around the nation, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy accuses ABC News of endangering minors by spiking a Jeffrey Epstein story in 2015. Megyn Kelly tweeted a letter from McCarthy on her official Twitter account, to which McCarthy shared on his social media platforms. The letter refers to ABC News' anchor, Amy Robach, expressing regret and frustration after ABC chose not to publish a first-hand account from one of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers. The letter goes on to say because, quote, no one knows who Epstein is, going on to say, quote, therefore rendering it a stupid story. The letters also express concern as, quote, any number of minors could have been spared from human trafficking over the past 3 years. Epstein pleaded guilty to felony charges of solicitation of prostitution involving a minor and served 13 months in prison. McCarthy accuses ABC of burying the truth, alluding it was due to protecting powerful people or financial interests. The official Instagram account of McCarthy replied to Kelly's post on Instagram regarding the letters, saying, quote, it is imperative that the public be assured that newsroom decisions regarding exposing human trafficking are not tampered by financial interests or outside sources. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is back on the bench. Justice Ginsburg returned to work today after missing a day last week because of a stomach bug. The 86-year-old was an active questioner last Tuesday when the court considered the fate of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program for certain undocumented immigrants. But Ginsburg was absent Wednesday when the court heard 2 other cases. Ginsburg's health has been the subject of intense interest since she underwent surgery last winter for lung cancer and treatment over the summer for a cancerous tumor on her pancreas. When we come back here on 17 News at noon, we'll take you to the streets of Bakersfield for the annual marathon coming up. Welcome back. Finally here at noon, thousands of runners sprinted through town for the 4th annual Bakersfield Marathon. The event attracts runners from across the country. There were 4 events to choose from: a full marathon, a half, 5K, or a 10K. Runners made their way through the streets of Bakersfield and past some of the city's most notable landmarks and buildings. Jordan Bramblett from Arizona took first place in the half marathon with 1 hour 11 minutes. And Fresno resident Jesus Campos took the top spot in the full marathon at 2 hours 41 minutes. But every runner who crossed the finish line walked away with a cool guitar-shaped medal for their efforts. And what a beautiful day it was yesterday for that marathon. Thanks for joining us here for 17 News at noon. We'll see you back here for 17 News at 5 and 6. Have a great day.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.